Sorry.
Oh, there it goes. Yep, there's your sweet spot. Now I'm like dead center.
Did you get any of my emails about Booster?
I'm getting a booster email.
Not from Booster, from me.
No, maybe not.
We will be starting our meeting in like 3
I
minutes.
sent it to you, Mr. Schneider, and the 2 secretaries, and
Correct.
nobody's responded. That's why I was like,
Maybe you didn't send it.
No.
Maybe your email got blocked.
Was it today?
no, last week.
Yeah, maybe the district server has blocked your email
You're funny.
because they think you're spamming.
Yeah, I got the email
Did I
from
think
Booster.
Okay, we can talk then. I'll,
Okay.
I'll
Well, no, those are
Yeah, no, I don't recall.
Oh, we're
We
live.
need like
Okay, yeah, we've been.
we need like a
mentioned,
sign
well,
to
wait a
put
minute.
here that says like we will start shortly.
BRB.
I just got the notification though that we're live.
I
So
decided.
Oh, so there's gonna be a lag.
there's always a lag. Dun dun dun.
Okay.
Yeah, our internet in here is not the greatest.
We have 1 viewer. Oh, wait.
Yay! It's probably Amber. She
No,
probably
it's, not,
opened
it's
it.
really not me.
Hi, Liz.
All right.
We'll get started.
I don't think anyone else is gonna show up.
All right, so I'm calling the meeting to order at 6:03. I just want to welcome everyone for coming in person and on our live feed. It's a new year, so we're just going to go ahead and introduce ourselves again. I'm Amber, the president. Let me go this way.
I'm Rebecca, the treasurer.
I'm Katya, the secretary.
Kristen, VP of Slatington.
And Kristen, VP of Peters.
Introduce yourself.
This is Mr. Briner, for those of you who have not met him that are here tonight. You don't have to get it.
The ones that didn't come in person, they don't get to see you.
It should be a fairly quick meeting since it's the first one of the month and we have a lot going on to start the year. We're going to go over the meeting minutes. There are none tonight since it is our first meeting. The next agenda would be the treasurer report from Rebecca.
All right, so I'm going to go over very briefly any expenditures that we had from our last meeting in May through the end of our fiscal year, which is June 30th. We had a starting balance of $29,202.70, and we had $5,954.38 in expenditures for a closing balance of $23,352.82. Those expenditures pretty much covered our teacher appreciation dinners. We did have 2 refunds that we issued for vendors for the canceled Food Truck Festival fundraiser. It also included our Rita's Days for the end of the year at Slatington and Peters, and the 6th grade picnic. And I think that's pretty much it. Oh, we also, we did give some funds to some of the classrooms, that if they wanted to spend up to this amount that they could, and we would reimburse them for it for like end of the year activities or gifts for their students. I think 1st grade did like a big science experiment or something. Tie-dye. Science experiment. All right, and then the treasurer report for tonight starts on July 1st, 2021, and it goes through last night. We did have some PTO general expenses. Almost all of our annual purchases that we have to renew, such as insurance, the budgeting software, things like that, was $800.69. We also purchased some back-to-school supplies. We purchased the student planners for the Slatington students and the homework folders for both schools. The planners were $1,885.63, and the homework folders were $945. And then we were finally able to put together the Zen Dens for both schools. The budget for each Zen-Den was $1,200. And Peters spent $842.61. And Slatington was $1,042.80. So it's very possible anything that comes up that we have to get for either Zen-Den, there's still room in the budget. And then we also did a welcome back to school for the teachers. We stocked the fridge and gave them some snacks, and that was $291.36. So our beginning balance on July 1st was $23,352.82. We spent $5,808.09. And our closing balance was $17,544.73. And that's it.
All right. New business. Our upcoming events is basically all of our new business for tonight.
You forgot 5.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun here.
It's okay, it's my job.
Section 5 is information for new members. We just want to let you know that we do have a Facebook page, a website, and we are currently working on a Twitter account. So you can
We have the account.
Yes.
I just have to, the handle's weird, and I can't figure out how to change it, because I'm not exactly Twittery. So.
She doesn't tweet.
I don't tweet. So if anyone out there knows how to change a Twitter handle, put it in the comments and I'll have it fixed by tonight and we'll post it on Facebook.
Hi, Amanda.
And then the other new information was volunteer opportunities. We are always looking for volunteers. We have a lot of cool events coming up planned for this year. And we're going to need all the help we can get to make them fun for the children. So if you're interested in any of our events that I talk about tonight, feel free to either email us, send a Facebook message, let us know that you're willing to help with the following events. Our first event was just last week. We had a Rita's night. I did finally get to talk to the girl from Rita's today. We actually, our profit was $200 in a matter of 4 hours, which I think is phenomenal. So we thank everyone who made it out to Rita's last Thursday. Next order of business is this Friday, we'll be having our first ever ice cream social. It is a prepaid event. It'll be this Friday at 6:30. Today was the last day, though, to get in your orders. And then coming up for October, we have a few events. Our biggest one being our booster. If any of you remember, we did do this 2 years ago. It was highly liked by children and parents and the staff.
Very successful financially.
We raised over $20,000 for this. So we are hoping, again, to raise just as much money. This fundraiser basically helps the most with paying for the field trips for the students at the end of the year. So without this fundraiser, it will be very hard for us to be able to do field trips and be able to pay for the trip plus the busing, because that's what we do pay for both of those things. So that starts on September 23rd as our kickoff. The kids will see a video here in school, and the event days, which I need help for, are October 4th and October 5th, which is a Monday and Tuesday. One day will be Peters, one day will be Slatington. And like I said, we're doing it also different this year. We are not doing a glow run, and both schools will have their own format of type of activity we're doing. For Peters, we're doing a dance fit, and for here at Slatington, we're doing basically a fun run fit. So that's basically all with Booster. And then after that, we're going to do the Sweet Fundraiser Solution program again. We did do this last year with the pizzas and cookies. I believe we're doing the same type of books? I think we
Um,
changed up once.
We changed which ones we're going to be using, but most of you should be familiar with them because it's a local company. I know youth soccer uses it. The boys' youth basketball team has sold them. So it shouldn't be anything ridiculously new, but we like that one a lot because it allows us to not only make some money for the PTO and our kids and our teachers, but also we're supporting a local fundraising business. They in turn support Tri-County Sporting Goods with the prizes that you receive. So this allows us to kind of keep everything local and support several local businesses all at once.
And that starts on October 18th, and pickup will be November 15th, the week of that, of November 15th. We'll let you know once it's sooner to that day. After that, our next event will be a Halloween costume book bingo. That will be held on October 20th, which is a Wednesday, here at Slatington Elementary. Basically, we can use.
I'm talking like several minute lag. So
We're back. Our next one is a book bingo, October 20th, which is a Wednesday, here at Slatington. We will need volunteers for that. Kristen Garrison is going to be in charge of that, so she will be reaching out for any volunteers needed for that. Basically, it'll be we supply pumpkins, and they have a festival at the school.
That should help.
That is pretty much all I have for tonight. It is a lot coming up for the month of October as far as events and fundraisers. I'm going to leave it now for open discussion. My two people
I know.
here.
Well,
Would you like to say anything?
the first meeting of the year is always a little bit like, our last one's usually really short too.
Yeah.
I'll just add, I'm working on a communication. I was hopefully gonna get it out tonight, to reschedule the Meet the Teacher night,
Okay.
to next week on Wednesday. So that's what I was working on before I came up here. So my goal is to get that out tonight so that people know, and we're watching distance and you know, if we have to.
Are you entering from the front of the building or the back of the building since it's in the cafeteria?
The front.
The front, okay.
The front, yeah.
So that would be the 15th.
That would be Wednesday the 15th, 6 to 8. And then the 3 grades will be, I think 4th grades is like 6 to 6:35 is the presentation. And then 5th grade is 6:45 to 7:20, and then 6th grade is 7:25 to 8.
Remember,
Yeah.
There we go.
this is my
Oh, Amanda Cromer commented,
high
"Hey,
school
ladies."
friends.
Hey, Amanda. So, like, I mean, I'll just throw this out there. I know that, like, you know, there it is. So,
We
like,
apologize, we keep losing service.
I know that we're still doing these, like, live Facebook feeds, but when it comes to, like, voting on things and doing other things this year, if we are having in-person meetings, you have to be in person. Like, so, I mean, I like this feature for people who can't attend, but, like, as the year goes on, when things are happening, like, you got to be here. we love your smiling eyes. Yeah, because we can't, because of the way the live feed is, we can't really allow voting through Facebook Live. Yeah.
I don't know if they're.
No, please ask them.
So the booster fundraiser.
I'm sorry.
What is the booster fundraiser? Like, what is it?
Do you want to explain?
Sure.
You can like shorten it.
Yeah.
if you want.
So-
Everybody.
Oh, yeah, because you weren't here for
Yeah,
that
you
last
weren't
one.
here. So
Okay.
this will be our second year using Booster. It's a company based in Philly who actually comes here and they do pretty much all the work for us.
Okay.
They set up a website for us. They track all the money for us. They get like nightly challenges for us. Basically on our end, I need people physically here for when the kids are running the laps or doing the fits to make sure A, they're not getting hurt. B, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like if they're required to do 5 laps, that they're doing the 5 laps. And then They have these things on their back, it's just a piece of paper, we check off that they do it. So basically, and then the challenges are, so it starts on the 23rd. So the first night will be something easy. Go home and register, and you'll get,
One of those ridiculous
a point.
little
So
silicone bracelets or something
you get
like
a prize
that.
every time you earn so much money. Unfortunately, I don't have, they didn't.
That's how they earn
The
money
way-
is they ask their friends to sponsor them.
So
or their
you get
family
you get
to
a link
sponsor them.
to this website.
And it's booster. You can sign
That
up
like the
now.
parent just goes on and fills out their kid's information. You can put all of your children together. You don't have to like do one for each kid. And then you share it on Facebook or you email it or whatever. And anyone, anywhere in the world, theoretically, can go on this link and sponsor your child. They can either sponsor it like per lap, or they can just say, I'm donating $10.
Okay.
And then we get, 80%?
Okay, so it all depends on how.
Yeah.
So say we raise,
The more we make,
Yeah, the more we raise, the more we get.
right, because they
Like the
keep a
greater our
percentage.
percentage.
Okay.
So at first, it's really like low our percentage, but the last like 3 days, we jumped like tremendously. I was like flabbergasted on how much we raised 2 years ago. So like I said, it is only our second time using this company. So 2 years ago, we did a glow run. The whole gym was dark. They had like the disco lights and flashy lights, and they have the archway, and they just, ran around the circle. Oh, they also provide an MC, which gets the kids riled up, and, they do like songs, like, the basic dance songs.
Like even the 6th graders who are typically too cool for school, like you saw them having a good time.
Yeah,
so they do a really good job with the
And
program.
each class kind of like has their own incentives, and they like get their teammates excited for it. So it, like I said, 2 years ago, it was the best fundraiser we've done since I've been with PTO.
It enables us to not have to do a ton of other fundraisers.
Like the pamphlets, like the brochures, selling candy,
and we were barely scraping by.
the jumpy stuff.
Well, and I mean, like, I don't know. We talk about this every year, and we have new parents, so maybe we should throw this out there again. I don't know that people realize what the astronomical cost of sending a class on a field trip is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the busing alone runs in, like, thousands of dollars for one grade. So we have to get this money from somewhere.
4,000 for transportation.
And,
One grade.
like,
For everybody.
we only spent $4,000 for everybody?
Yeah, it was $4,000 in transportation the last time we were able to do field trips.
Okay, so, like,
Still a lot of money.
yes. So, and that's just busing them. Like then, I mean, there's like deposits for the locations. There's like all the fees. So, because it's not like when we were in school and your parents sent $3 and you went on a field trip. So this money has to come from somewhere, and the PTO has always covered this cost, but we need a good amount of money to be able to do that.
Right, so then you also have 950 students at, anywhere from $5 to $10 for the actual physical trip too.
Depending on where they go and what they do. I mean, our teachers do a really great job of not making things ridiculous, but we also want these to be like fun and educational trips. Like, we don't want to say, oh, well, yes, there is a year where they walk to the library, which is great, but we don't want to say, oh, that was your field trip, that's it. You got to walk to your local library. We want to provide something that's new and different and stimulating to the kids. So in order to do that, we need to have the funds. And this is a really good way to make a ton of money with minimal effort on the parents' part. Like, all you have to do is share a link.
Right.
You don't have to go door to door. You don't have to,
Ultimately, we would not have been able to do anything that we did last year at all if we didn't have the booster fundraiser the year before. So, it really does, it really is like our primary source of fundraising.
And the Peters Fall Festival, is that for everybody, or is that just
Nope,
like?
it's just for Peters because it's during the day.
Oh, okay.
During the day. At school.
Peters has always done a fall festival. It was run by the Education Association or the Teachers?
The second grade teacher.
Oh, the second. Okay, so the second grade teachers always ran it, but the PTO provided all the volunteers, and we would always donate the pumpkins. The way that it looks this year, we're going to shift things a little and do more of the actual execution of everything, and they're just going to fund everything like they used to. So it's kind of a joint effort. It's like a fun outdoor day for the little kids. And then they get to decorate a pumpkin and take it home.
Peters used to do a pumpkin field trip.
Yes.
For kindergarten, and that got taken away. They weren't allowed to do that anymore. The farm closed. So it actually is cheaper, and all kindergarten through second grade now gets a pumpkin.
Yes. It costs us less money, and everybody gets a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think Adrian still did the field trip.
Nevaeh did a field trip, so I know.
I know, Elizabeth did too.
That was only 10 years ago.
I know, we didn't really do a good job in our introductions of talking about who our kids are or whatever, but we all have kids in both schools. Like, you'll see them.
I have a kid in...
Now you're down to one.
I'm down to one. I only got a slating tin up left.
I'm a PTO lifer, I think. It's going to be a really long time.
I'm going to still be doing PTO, and my first is going to be graduating.
It'll be okay.
No, it's not. I'm getting really old.
That's actually, we can throw that out there in open discussion too. Several of our board positions, the terms will be up at the end of this year.
It's all of them.
Yeah.
All the
It is,
terms
no,
are-
everyone but Vice President of...
No, her term should be up.
halfway.
You're right.
So every position but Vice President of Peters will be at the end of their term this year. So it's just something for all the parents involved to think about. If you would like to run for a position, look at what we do throughout the year, see if it's something you would like to do. I don't think we've ever actually had real elections because there's only ever one person volunteering for something. But in the event that there are multiple people, we'll also have elections and things. So it's just something to think about. Also, our president can't be president again, can you? Yeah. So our president is not allowed to be president again. So things will have to shift anyway. So there will be at least one open position. Think about it. We always love help. Willing victims, whatever you want to call it.
I thought Amber had one more year as president.
No, they're all up this year.
Because I had a COVID year last year, so I would
But I thought you got 4 years as president.
No, it's just 2.
Every term is 2.
Every term is 2.
No, but I thought you could run again.
She
you just
did.
couldn't go.
No.
I've only been president 2 years.
Yeah, you can only be president for 2 years. You can do every other position. You can do 2 terms, I think.
Oh.
Or unlimited, I guess, if nobody runs. But you can only
You can't do consecutive terms. So she could be president again in 2
right,
years.
right. But somebody else has to be president in between.
Yeah. But
So yeah, think about it. Pay attention this year. Maybe somebody wants to join our crew. We actually have a really good time. We have a lot of fun together too. Anything else?
All right. The meeting is adjourned at 6:27. That was really fast.
Oh, and our next meeting will be October
yes.
13th in the morning in the district office. For any of you who are unable to attend evening meetings, this is your bi-monthly option to attend the 9:30 a.m. meeting. And then you just ring the doorbell at the district office and they let you in.
Have your driver's license.
Yes, bring ID.
That's it.
All right, make it stop.